Let's be honest for a second. Scroll through social media for just a few minutes, and it can feel like everyone is winning. People are posting luxury vacations, driving brand new cars, living in beautiful apartments, wearing expensive clothes, eating at trendy restaurants, and from the outside, it looks like they have everything figured out. But what you don't see are the credit card bills, the loans, the financial stress, the sleepless nights wondering how they're going to pay for everything next month. The reality is that many people who appear wealthy are actually struggling financially behind the scenes. And perhaps the most dangerous part is that financial mistakes rarely feel like mistakes when you're making them. They often feel normal, reasonable, even rewarding. A new purchase feels exciting. A bigger apartment feels like success. A nicer car feels like progress. But years later, those same decisions can become the reason someone feels trapped financially. The truth is that financial freedom is not built through one lucky break. It's not built through winning the lottery, and it's not built through becoming rich overnight. Financial freedom is usually the result of hundreds of small decisions made consistently over time. The habits you build in your 20s and 30s often determine the opportunities you'll have in your 40s, 50s, and beyond. Every dollar you earn has a job. You can spend it, save it, invest it, or waste it. And the choices you make today will quietly shape your future. In this video, we're going to break personal finance into three important stages: building money, spending money, investing money. And within those stages, we'll cover the 9 biggest financial mistakes that keep so many young people stuck living paycheck to paycheck. Some of these mistakes are obvious, others are surprisingly common, but all of them have one thing in common: they slowly steal your financial future if you don't recognize them early. Part 1: The Building Stage. Most people begin their financial journey with a simple belief: if I can just make more money, everything will be okay. It sounds logical. After all, more income should solve financial problems, right? Not necessarily. There are people earning 6 figures who are constantly stressed about money, and there are people earning average incomes who are steadily building wealth. The difference isn't always income, it's behavior. Money amplifies habits. Good habits create wealth. Bad habits create bigger problems. Let's look at the first stage. Mistake number 1: not tracking your money. One of the biggest financial mistakes people make is simply not paying attention. Ask the average person how much they spent last month on food delivery, subscriptions, entertainment, impulse purchases. Most couldn't tell you. They know roughly how much they earn, but they have no idea where it all goes. Money disappears little by little. A coffee here, a subscription there, a quick online purchase, a dinner out with friends. None of these expenses seem significant on their own, but together they can quietly consume a huge portion of your income. Imagine trying to lose weight without knowing what you're eating, or trying to improve your fitness without tracking your workouts. It would be incredibly difficult. The same principle applies to money. What gets measured gets managed. Successful people understand their cash flow. They know how much comes in. They know how much goes out, and they know exactly where their money is being directed. Financial awareness is the foundation of financial success, because you can't improve what you refuse to measure. Mistake number 2: spending everything you make. This is one of the most common traps in modern society. It's called lifestyle inflation, and it affects people at every income level. Here's how it works: you get a raise, your income increases, you feel successful, and naturally, you decide to reward yourself. Maybe you move into a nicer apartment, upgrade your car, buy better clothes, eat out more often, subscribe to more services, travel more frequently. None of these things seem unreasonable. The problem is that your expenses rise just as quickly as your income. So, despite earning more money than ever before, you still feel financially stuck. Many people spend years chasing higher salaries without realizing that their spending habits are growing at the exact same pace. As a result, they never actually build wealth. They simply build a more expensive lifestyle. The goal of earning more money shouldn't be to spend every extra dollar. It should be to create more freedom, more savings, more investments, more options. Otherwise, you're simply running faster on the same treadmill. Mistake number 3: misusing credit cards. Credit cards are powerful tools. Used correctly, they can provide convenience, rewards, and financial flexibility. Used incorrectly, they can become a financial nightmare. The danger of credit cards is psychological. When people hand over cash, they feel the loss immediately. But swiping a card feels different. The pain is delayed, and because the consequences aren't immediate, people often spend more than they normally would. A few purchases become a balance. The balance becomes debt. The debt accumulates interest, and suddenly you're paying extra money for things you bought months ago. Many people end up trapped in a cycle where they're constantly paying for their past decisions. The worst part is that most of those purchases stop bringing happiness long before the debt disappears. Financial discipline matters far more than credit limits because debt doesn't just cost money, it costs freedom. Mistake number 4, they are only having one source of income. Imagine waking up tomorrow and discovering your job no longer exists. How long could you survive financially? A month, 3 months, 6 months? For many people, losing a paycheck would create immediate panic, and that's because they've built their entire financial life around a single source of income. And while having a stable job is valuable, relying on only one income source creates risk. Today's economy changes quickly, industries evolve, companies downsize, technology replaces jobs, unexpected events happen. That's why building additional income streams can be so powerful. It doesn't have to happen overnight. Maybe it's freelancing, maybe it's a side business, maybe it's creating content, maybe it's investing, maybe it's selling digital products. The goal isn't to work yourself to exhaustion. The goal is to reduce dependence on a single paycheck because financial security comes from having options. Part 2, the spending stage. As income grows, a new challenge appears: spending. And for many people, spending is where financial progress begins to fall apart. Because money decisions are rarely logical, they're emotional, they're influenced by friends, family, advertising, social media, and the desire to fit in. Let's talk about the mistakes that happen during this stage. Mistake number 5, buying things to look successful. One of the most expensive habits in modern society is purchasing things for appearance rather than value. People buy luxury items they don't need, cars they can't comfortably afford, designer brands that impress strangers, the newest technology simply because everyone else has it. The motivation isn't always practicality, it's often validation, the desire to appear successful. But here's the truth: looking wealthy and being wealthy are completely different things. Many genuinely wealthy people live surprisingly modest lives. Meanwhile, many people who appear rich are carrying enormous amounts of debt. Real wealth is what you don't see. It's savings, investments, assets, financial security, not flashy purchases, not social media photos, not status symbols. The people who build lasting wealth focus on ownership, not appearances. Mistake number 6, financing a lifestyle you can't afford. Modern financing makes almost anything accessible: cars, furniture, electronics, vacations, even clothing. Everything can be broken into monthly payments, and that's exactly why it's dangerous. Monthly payments create the illusion that something is affordable, but affordability isn't determined by the monthly payment. It's determined by the total financial impact. When enough payments stack up, your future income becomes committed before you even earn it. Every paycheck arrives already spoken for. That creates stress, and financial stress affects every area of life: relationships, mental health, career decisions, overall happiness. Many people feel trapped not because they lack income, but because they've borrowed too much of their future. Mistake number 7, ignoring small daily expenses. Most people worry about major purchases, but they ignore the small expenses that happen every day: coffee, snacks, food delivery, streaming services, convenience purchases, online subscriptions. These expenses seem harmless because they're small, but consistency works both ways. Just as small investments can grow into wealth, small expenses can grow into significant losses. A few dollars here and there may not seem important, but over years, those habits can cost thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars. Financial success is often determined by daily behavior, not occasional decisions. The little things matter more than most people realize. Mistake number 8, spending beyond your means in relationships. Relationships can be one of life's greatest joys, but they can also become a source of financial pressure. Many young people feel obligated to spend money to prove their love. Expensive gifts, luxury vacations, costly celebrations, constant spending to impress a partner. The problem is that financial strain eventually creates stress, and stress damages relationships. Healthy relationships are built on trust, communication, and shared values, not debt, not expensive purchases, not financial sacrifice that creates resentment later. The right partner should support your financial goals, not pressure you to abandon them. The lesson from this stage: financial maturity isn't about earning more, it's about controlling impulses. It's about understanding the difference between wants and needs, and it's about making decisions based on your future rather than temporary emotions. Part 3: the investing stage. Once you've learned how to earn money and manage spending, the next step is investing. This is where wealth begins to compound. This is where money starts working for you. And unfortunately, this is where many people make costly mistakes. Mistake number 9: waiting too long to invest. One of the biggest misconceptions about investing is that you need to be rich before you start. You don't. In fact, investing is often more about time than money. The earlier you begin, the more powerful compound growth becomes. A small investment made consistently over decades can outperform a much larger investment started later. Time is the greatest advantage young people possess, yet many waste years waiting for the perfect moment, waiting to earn more, waiting to learn more, waiting until they feel ready. But investing rewards action, not perfection. Starting small is infinitely better than never starting at all. Not having emergency savings. Before building wealth, you need stability. That's where emergency savings come in. Life is unpredictable, cars break down, jobs disappear, medical emergencies happen, unexpected expenses arrive without warning. Without savings, every setback becomes a crisis. And when emergencies occur, people often resort to debt. Emergency funds provide breathing room. They provide flexibility, and most importantly, they provide peace of mind. Financial freedom begins with preparation. The best investment is yourself. Stocks can grow, businesses can grow, real estate can grow. But one investment has the potential to improve every area of your life. That's investing in yourself, your skills, your knowledge, your health, your mindset. Learning a valuable skill can increase your earning potential for decades. Improving your health can increase your energy and productivity. Developing discipline can improve every financial decision you make. The greatest asset you'll ever own is your ability to create value. And unlike material possessions, that asset can continue growing throughout your entire life. Conclusion: at the end of the day, financial freedom isn't built through luck, it's built through habits. Small decisions repeated consistently over time. Tracking your money, avoiding lifestyle inflation, using credit responsibly, creating multiple income streams, spending intentionally, investing early, building savings, and continuously improving yourself. Remember this: the richest person isn't necessarily the one who earns the most money. It's often the person who keeps the most, invests wisely, and allows their money to work for them. If you're in your 20s or 30s right now, you have something incredibly valuable: time. And time can either become your greatest financial advantage or your biggest regret. The choice is made through the decisions you make today. Start small, stay consistent, be patient, because wealth is rarely built overnight. But over years of smart decisions, it can completely transform your life. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and stick around for more content about money, self-improvement, and building a better future. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.